From Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Yes, I'm actually a university professor and former associate.
In addition to being a professor of public health and epidemiology in the Faculty of Health Sciences at Ontario Tech University, I also was the former associate dean for the Faculty of Health Sciences and a director for various programs, including the Bachelor's of Health Science, Bachelor's of Health Administration, Bachelor's of Allied Health program, so quite busy. I'm a relatively new recording indie country rock artist, and my students have given me the nickname of the Rocking Prof over the decade or so because I would often begin lectures with a song to break the ice and also to showcase some of my music videos. It's a great way to let them know that I'm not only a professor, but also an ordinary guy who happens to love to write and play country rock music as well. And this really helps me to connect with my students on a personal level. I began to perform publicly around the age of 8 or 9, doing Christmas concerts in seniors' homes and for veterans in nursing homes in Chateauguay, Quebec, where I grew up and was raised as a child. There were lots of apple orchards and fields and dirt roads and farms at the time, but now due to urbanization, these have all basically disappeared, unfortunately. I really enjoyed giving back to my community. I felt it very rewarding to do these live performances with my sister Kathy and my cousin Irene Bellin. I played the guitar, accordion, keyboards, although I must admit that I'm not a master of any instrument. I also played slide trombone in high school band. Here's 2 early photos that I found, which depicts my very first recording session that was done in my parents' basement with my friend from high school, Danny Arsenault. These photos are from the summer of '79. You can see an old 4-track tape recorder in the shot and a homemade mixer with slide volume controls and simple knobs for left and right panning. Yes, we built our own amps, mixers, and equipment back in those days. I played in various bistros and coffee houses in Montreal during my early college years with my friend Danny. We did the odd gig for free meals, earn a few bucks to help pay for books and tuition, and also to try to impress some pretty girls in the audience. After my college and university days, when I started to get into academia and working, teaching as a professor, doing clinical and bench research, and of course raising a family, we had 2 boys. So life got really, really busy indeed, and music kind of slipped, or writing music kind of slipped on the wayside. However, I rediscovered music during COVID. We were literally locked down in our homes here in Canada. I decided to dust off my old guitar. It's a 6-string guitar, put on some new strings, got some new pegs, and to start playing a few old tunes. Incidentally, I got my first guitar when I was about 14 years of age, doing odd jobs like cutting grass and shoveling snow, of course, here in the wintertime in Canada, working in my uncle's garage, pumping gas, changing oil, and fixing flat tires on weekends. It was a secondhand guitar that I got from a pawn shop for about $50 Canadians, and I still have it to this day, and I still love it. I learned to play it by going to the library and taking out books and looking at pictures, how to do chords and so forth, and practicing until literally my fingers bled. There was no internet or YouTube back in those days. I also began to write music again during COVID, record and mix it professionally, and to distribute it on various streaming sites and I was happy to report that various FM and Indian radio stations around the world also picked up my song, which has been an amazing journey to date. I also had the pleasure of doing some research related to the benefits of music as medicine, specifically music therapy and binaural beat therapies, looking at the positive effects of white, brown, and gray noise for things like insomnia. Also doing research, clinical research with patients with Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. My father actually had a form of dementia called vascular dementia. It's the second most common form of dementia after Alzheimer's disease. And he would, ironically, he was admitted to the same nursing home in Châteauguay, Quebec, where we used to put on Christmas concerts. And he had a series of strokes and couldn't take care of himself. And as his dementia advanced, he started to develop what we call BPSDs, or behavioural and psychological symptoms of dementia. These include things like agitation and sundowning and hallucinations. My exposure with the music, playing these, would sing him old folk songs and so forth, and it would distract him. And his affect would immediately change. His personality would immediately change. He would start singing, and you could see his face lighting up. These are old folk songs and the country songs we used to sing around the campfire in the cottage. Unfortunately, my dad passed away 2 years ago in February of 2022. But that has been, that exposure to help seeing music actually benefited him, did play a big part in my latter career as well. Here's some music and podcast interviews I did related to my music and research related to music as medicines with patients with Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Also got nominated for Collaboration of the Year with Stephen Wrench for a song we wrote entitled You're My Beautiful this year, 2024. You're My Beautiful hit number 1 in January of 2024 on the World Indie chart lists, and also the Euro Indie Network Music Network. Also had other top songs in the top 10. For example, a really good honky-tonk song I wrote entitled It's Friday Night hit number 2 as well. I like to make my own music videos and productions. Here's a short clip for You're My Beautiful, which again hit number 1 on the World Indie Chart Networks and Euro Indie Network Music Chart list in January of 2024. It's a song I wrote for my wife Emma for her birthday, and also to mark the 10th anniversary of her being a 10-year breast cancer survivor. So that was a real milestone. I wanted to give her a special gift from the heart, so I wrote this love song for her.
Beautiful, you're my beautiful, beautiful, you're beautiful to me. Beautiful, you're my beautiful, beautiful, you're beautiful to me. Beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful.
Also, my latest music video, another collaboration with Stephen Wrench from Music and Film, called Little Sunshine Girl. It's a unique, very upbeat summer and beach themed production with country rock and reggae influences and vibes, like steel drums that really works well with this song.
You're my little sunshine girl, like a bottle, you're my genie. Out you come in your little bikini, you're my little sunshine girl. I love your wet kiss, such sweet red lips, like a princess in a book. I love your sweet look, love the way you taste, you're so full of grace. When you hold me in your arms, full of charm.
I actually helped spearhead and set up a specialized dementia unit, which we called the Clinical Demonstration Unit, with the help of staff at Ontario Shore Centre for Mental Health Sciences, which is located in Whitby, Ontario, Canada. I'm very proud of this collaboration coming to fruition after much work by both institutions. Faculty, students, and staff have done various non-pharmacological, non-invasive interventions and research with patients with advanced forms of dementia, including music therapy, reminiscence therapy, light therapy, also some preliminary work with robots with AI to help control these BPSDs, or behavioural and psychological symptoms, in patients with dementia. I mentioned earlier that my dad was suffering from. I will be retiring in August of 2024 after being in academia and healthcare for over 35 years now. However, I still plan to do research related to music as medicine and music therapy. Cheers.